Okay, I got One Piece fight. It's interesting, kind of. So I got Katakuri versus Law, right? We know that Law played a part in killing Katakuri's mom. So we'll say in this scenario, he's coming to get that get back, right? He wants that. He wants to kill Law, who was a part of the reason why his mom got defeated, right? Why she went down. He wants to get revenge, right? And they're fighting at. hmm, we'll just say they're fighting at Wano. I know that's a place where they probably wouldn't meet each other, but that's just where they're gonna fight for this fight. So when it comes to physical strength, Katakuri does have Law beat. Striking power and lifting power definitely go to Katakuri. Just look at those two guys and tell me which one you think goes to the gym. Now there's people who don't look like they do, and they still got like that. But Law's definitely um, he's a guy who he ain't hitting as hard or lifting as much as Katakuri, but his speed is better than Katakuri. He has that move called Shambles. He can get off over the place, right? He can dodge some attacks from Katakuri, that's for sure. Then we got durability. Durability is going to Katakuri. He has armament hockey. Um, Endurance goes to Katakuri. Um, you can make an argument for Law if you wanted to, but I think Katakuri has him beat still. Because in that fight against Big Mom, he did have some help. Taking some of that, pressure off of him. Now their fight was still long, but you know, the fight that Katakuri had with Luffy, and Luffy ain't what he is now, but back then they were like neck and neck. You know, and Katakuri had Luffy beaten some categories back then, but I have to give the endurance to Katakuri. Intelligence wise, I'm giving it to Traffy. He's pretty damn smart. He's one of the smarter people in the series. Um, yeah, man. Katakuri. I wouldn't say he's the smartest guy in the world. So Law gets that category. Experience goes to Katakuri. He was out there at age, I don't know, 10 years old fighting because of his, fighting to protect his siblings, right? Letting out Conqueror's Hockey burst, right? Um, he's like in his 40s, so yeah. We got that going to him. Close skills going to Katakuri. He's definitely running up on him and, giving him the hands and shit. Now, it ain't going to be easy, but, he'll get some licks in. Um, Range skills go to Traffy. Traffy has Shambles. Traffy got, all kind of moves he can bring out. He can make his sword long, too. You know, he can make his sword go pretty long these days. Um, and then in that room, it's like that whole area is under his, command. Um, when it comes to recovery, I'm giving it to Law because his devil fruit has healing properties. Now he can't heal himself necessarily. Well, he actually did heal himself, um, but not like healing. But if you have to sew your arm back on, hey man, that's part of recovery. So he wins that. Hacks go to Law. See, Katakuri and Law have awakened devil fruits. Both of them do, but Law has the better devil fruit. It has it's way more versatile, and the way that Law uses his head, because he's smart too. Cause see, a dumbass with this devil fruit cannot use the devil fruit the way Law uses it. So you gotta understand that's why they're called devil fruit users. And I ain't saying Katakuri don't know how to use his devil fruit through years of experience. He's able to, awaken his devil fruit, and he can actually change the environment. That's why I'm giving the environment to Katakuri actually, because he'll turn the whole environment into mochi. you know. But Law can still evade that. Now both of them have hockey, and Katakuri does have better hockey. In this scenario, I'm giving it to Law, when it comes to hacks. And then the fight, I'm also giving it to Law, but it's extreme diff. It ain't gonna be an easy fight because that man Katakuri does have conquers hockey, and he likes to, keep on fighting even when he's on the back foot, right? But I think that Law currently is probably as strong as Luffy was during Whole Cake, if not maybe even a little bit more powerful than that, slightly. That version of Luffy from back then. But be cool, call in the corner, man, and let me know what you think in the comments about who wins this fight.